What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 2nd Street. I hope you're all having a very good day today. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, and yeah, make sure you get out to your local comic book shop and go and check out some great comics. It is the last comic book day of the year, so, hey, if there's something you want to get out and read, hey, make sure you go out there. This is the last one you're going to get this year, folks. Yeah, next week we're already going to be almost knee-deep in the year. By the time we get our next one, January 6th is when our next comic book day will be. And that is really just a little over 1 week away from the one thing that I know that we're all waiting for. Let me hear it. I know that we're all sitting out here, all us nerds are out there waiting for WandaVision. And believe me when I say we're going to start doing some, we're going to do some streams and stuff. We're going to bring probably some guests in here to talk to and speculate on all of the things that are going on in that WandaVision show. Now, before I get into today's, the discussion I want to have today, I want to get in here and say what's up to everybody in the live chats, but what I want to talk about today, kind of the main thing here, is I noticed this tweet online last night as I got on Twitter, and I noticed there's a writer over at Marvel who got on there and was asking about promoting his books, what he should do, because for issue number 2, to get people out into stores and make sure that they are buying it, because a lot of books do have a fall off at number 2, number 3. It really kind of depends on a lot of factors, because comic books, when comic shops do ordering, they have this thing called FOC, which is Final Order Cutoff. Now, generally what happens is, like this week, we got in like the new comic book previews, okay? So what this does is this just came out yesterday. You can see right there, it comes out in January for 2021, but the comic books that they are showing in here are for March, right? So they come out a couple of months ahead of time, but a lot of times your comic book shop can still get your orders in stock and make sure that they have those for you. Now, a lot of times they rely on getting those orders in so you can make sure that you get your books. But that being the case, what happens is a comic book comes out. Oh, dang it. Is a comic book comes out, and then, you don't really know how it's going to sell, like when they're doing their pre-orders. Say issue number 1 comes out, and you as a reader had it on your pull list, but you didn't like issue number 1. So if you had it on your comic book pull list, chances are you're going through, at least you won't know, the comic shop won't know that you're not interested in it until about issue number 3, and that's when you're really going to start to see the drop off. And anyway, I seen this tweet yesterday, and we'll go ahead and we'll get into some of that in just a minute. But before we do that, I want to get into the live chats and say what's up to everybody. Say hello to all you lovely people and all of the Myrtle maniacs. So yeah, let's get in here and see what everybody is saying today. Starts off, it looks like we got my man Wayne, ReeferMan Reviews. How are you doing, my brother? Hey, that package should be on your doorstep. Make sure you have your neighbor check that out. Thank you so much for being here, my brother. Will Morgan, how are you doing? XR Coon says, I guess the den isn't on. Yeah, I noticed this morning on Discord they said that they're having some technical difficulties, and believe me when I say I completely understand that, because if you've been here long enough, you've seen me have my share of technical difficulties. They're fun. That's the fun of a live show, is it not? So yeah, they're having some technical difficulties. I was actually going to schedule this for like 8 o'clock. I was going to go earlier, but I was out in the garage working out, and I got done, got my coffee, and I was sitting there making a thumbnail. It took a little longer than I wanted, so hey, here we are, going now, taking advantage of that time while our brothers over at the Den of Nerds are having some technical difficulties, and yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm here for this morning. Normally, I would be going at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 9 a.m. for you guys out on the East Coast or wherever you may be in the world. But yeah, having some technical difficulties, man. I believe me, I completely get it. But hey, it gives me a day off from nerd venging. We know things have been getting a little interesting in the tower. These past couple of, I don't know, I'd say since about Christmas time. But yes, thank you so much for being here. XR says, yo, got your package. My unboxing vid is uploading right now. Had technical difficulties uploading. Oh, okay, right on. So you did. So you got home in time for it. Awesome. Good to hear. Glad you don't have to deal with porch pirates like we do where I live at, man. That thing would have been swooped up. Oh, happy hump day to you, Star Wars Santa. Guys, make sure you go check out Star Wars Santa's channel. He does a lot of live streams talking about Star Wars. This man very much loves the Star Wars. Go check out his channel. Very good stuff, man. Always does some very good streams. How's it going, my cold donor? Oh man, that's funny. Oh man. XR Santa. Yeah, saying what's up. Okay, Chillmonger says WandaVision streams sound awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sure that, like, I'm not going to do watch-alongs probably. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should do watch-alongs and maybe do my reaction, my live reaction to the show. I mean, everybody seems to do this. Everybody seems to like those things. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that. But yeah, I definitely want to get some streams going on. Like I said, Chillmonger, his another good friend of the channel, he was just here on Monday. We'll probably bring him on regularly to talk about some of these shows, as well as some of you. I know we've got some other good people here in the chats, like XR Coon and Will Morgan and Wayne. We've also got Stormy here as well, another great person in the comic book community. Ooh, and I even see our friends from The Widow here as well. How are you all doing? I see kind of changing the name of the channel over there. Guys, make sure you go check out The Widow. They do some pretty good live streams. They got a pretty good group of content creators over there that they're getting an array of content over there for you guys to check out. Make sure you go check them out. I just recently found them. I think that was because I seen them here in the chats one day, and I know it was because my man Chillmonger was on. And hey, you know, that's how we make friends and grow the community, is, you know, through mutuals, right? We all come together to nerd out about stuff. MCU content, yeah. Issue 1 of WandaVision will be out in 2 weeks. Yes, yeah, definitely. I kept refreshing the page and getting no notifications, so I moved you. Okay, yeah. They announced it in the I think in announcements on the Discord. Wookie, how are you doing? Yeah, man. You know that guy that lives upstairs from me put the package in front of my apartment door in the hallway. Oh, nice, awesome. Just got the notification for the stream. 16 minutes late. No, I don't know. I think I was just late getting here. I was just late getting here. Ladies who know are treasures. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Louis the 13th, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a very good day today as well. Now, the one thing I want to get into today is, I got this yesterday. Okay, where's it at? There was this tweet from a writer he writes he's doing a series for Marvel Comics, but he is also, I believe, one of the writers for the MODOK show on Hulu. You can go, you can check out his profile. His name is Jordan Bloom. He's the co-creator of Marvel's MODOK for Hulu, also writer on American Dad and Community. Yeah, and he says this is on his Twitter. He says, I mostly use this garbage site to talk about comics. Him. Anyway, point being, he put this post up, and believe me, there's nothing wrong with what he posted here, but it brings up something that I've been critical here on the channel of the mainstream comic book industry, mostly, I would say, largely looking at the big two, the Marvels and DCs of the world. Now, here he says, he put this post up, he says, hey comics community, Marvel was great about press for the rollout of our first issue of MODOK. What do you do personally to help get the word out and promote for number 2 and subsequent issues? Now, I want to say again, I think there's nothing wrong with him asking this question. Perfectly good question to ask, especially working, you know, if you're a writer and you're wanting to get your works out there and promote these things and get sales. This is something that is much needed in the comic book industry, is the promotion of books. I myself have been critical on this channel about Marvel. and DC and their abilities. Sorry, there we go. And their ability, I guess, to go out and promote their books. A lot of times it seems like they're kind of like, hey, we're Marvel and DC. You're gonna buy it. And we see, increasingly more and more, that's really not the case. Their sales have been in decline for a handful of years. They're, by no means are people, they're going to get sales, but is a series like MODOK going to get all the sales and attention that it should, especially coming from somebody like Jordan Bloom, who is also working on this series with Patton Oswalt? Are these two guys writing for Marvel Comics, this series, this mini-series, 5-issue miniseries? I got some things that we're going to get into with that. Dude, there's nothing wrong with these guys getting out there, but do these guys need the help? I think they absolutely do need some help. Now, here's the issue, is it's not going to sell just because it's Marvel and just because it's these guys. It's absolutely not. Otherwise, this guy wouldn't be asking for help. But like I said, I've been critical of this because I do think that Marvel and DC needs to do a better job getting out there and promoting their books. Now, the issue with that comes with a couple of things. Marvel and DC are big corporate entities, so they have all kinds of rules and regulations and things like that they want to follow for their company guidelines. Some of these things I completely understand. Some of these things I absolutely do not. And that is because, it's kind of this thing where we see these big corporate companies, these big entertainment giants, seem to have problems promoting their products. This brings me back to something that we were just talking about on Monday. This thing we've seen with Lucasfilm and Pablo Hidalgo, right? After he went out there and made some comments about Star Wars there, and believe me, this isn't an issue I'm going to beat up. I get that people have their opinions on it. I'm not going to beat this thing up. But it kind of plays into the same thing here, where we seen he went out there and made fun of, arguably, YouTube's biggest Star Wars content creator. Somebody who goes out there and does nothing but share love for their products, and went out there and made some snide remarks. Now, he retracted those and said it was just kidding and all these kinds of things. And hey, whether you accept that, whether you believe that or not, any of those kinds of things, that's up for you to decide, not for me. It's up for you to decide your level of support that you want to show for these companies and things when it comes to this kinds of stuff. Now, however, whether he was kidding or not, we can see the reaction that everybody had to it. This is a higher up in this company who you would say, could easily say should be partially responsible for helping promote their products and should not be out there kicking down and throwing shade at somebody who actively promotes their products. We see that there's been bigger issues with some of these other companies as well, and promoting their products. We could get into the Star Wars franchise, we could get into all these other kinds of interviews, star interviews, director interviews, things like that are coming out from the mainstream media, where people, they pick those headlines apart and they put them up there. They have problems promoting their products. All of these companies do. Now, getting into this tweet, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with this writer asking for help on how to, what to do to promote their books. Now, the one thing I will say is the comic book industry, just like the movie industry, just like every other industry, the music industry, just like pretty much every other business. I don't care where you go. I don't care if you go to that big box retailer like the Walmarts and the Targets of the world. I don't care if you're going to your grocery store. I don't care if you're going to your local mom and pop store. One of the biggest things when it comes to business, and anybody who has worked in any job really may not always understand this and may sometimes forget it, but one thing that you should absolutely know in these kinds of industries is that, how do I say, is that these companies, these businesses, everything you're doing, if you're selling a product especially, what you're in is a people business. These are people businesses. reaching out and interacting with your customers and pleasing your customers is the most important thing. It's just a thing of people. That's all it is. It's learning how to deal with people and giving these people what they want. Now, you can't always give them what they want. Sometimes you gotta give them what they need. There's a little bit of give and take there. But for the most part, it's not upsetting your customers and trying to meet their needs in a way that is conducive to your brand and to your company. These are all people businesses. I myself run a small business, and here's the thing is, most importantly, in my business, the product that I sell is very important. The quality of the product is important. Why? Because the products that I sell themselves. Okay? These products that I sell themselves. Hands down, I don't have to sell the products. You know what I have to sell? I have to sell myself to the person that I want to put my products in their mouth. It is a consumer product that I do, and it's food. It's snack products. Now the thing is I have to get people to put something in their mouth. This is a hard industry to work in. The thing is, you got to get people to try the product. You got to get them to consume the product. So for me, it's not a matter of the product being good or not. The product is the best product you can get. It's the highest quality you're going to get, the stuff that I sell, okay? But for me to get somebody to take my product, put it in their mouth, and give it a shot, I have to do I have to do the most important thing, and that's go meet the customer, go make contact with them, introduce myself to them, get a rapport with them, build some trust with them. Within those first couple of minutes when I walk into a new place and say, hey, my name is Trinity, this is what I do, this is what I've got, this is what I sell, here's the reason you should try it. I've got a sample right here for you. You can try it absolutely free. You do not have to buy anything from me. Just take this, give it a shot right now if you want, but if not, it's okay. I usually come by here however often. So if there's anything I could help you with now, just let me know. Right? You got to do that thing. You got to have that call to action. And the thing is most of the time I go in there to these places and I introduce myself and I tell them what I am doing, who I am, what I'm doing, and what I've got. And I ask them for that sale. I ask them like, hey, here it is, something free for, no obligation. Is there anything I can help you with right now? Most of the time, one of the things I try to do is be personable, be nice. Right? Look good, you know. I probably wouldn't go in there with my stuff all looking all like, oh, you know, looking like I've had a rough day at work. I'd go in there, dress nice, speak clearly, and introduce myself. And one of the things I would really do is try to make them laugh, you know, try to be, you know, like, and nothing with cheesy jokes, but try to be uplifting, something that makes them think, oh, hey, like, I like this guy. He's okay. Right? And then as I go through, as time goes on, I build this rapport with them. I build a relationship with them. And at some point, it becomes about the products, not me. Right? Once they try the products and they like the product, it's about the products, not me. Now, I am the link between the products and the customer. So as the time goes on, what do? I get to meet and know the people. Right? I get to, you know, it's a relationship. And that's what it's all about. When we go in there and I have discussions with people, and we don't really get into a bunch of serious subjects and talk with them, I be nice with them. You know, a lot of these people end up being very good customers. A lot of times I go to see these people and it's not even about selling product. I go there a lot of times for the interaction because I actually like the people themselves, right? It's all about these kinds of things. So it's a people business, and this goes with anything. I don't care what you're dealing with. I don't care if you are the store, the producer that is putting products on the shelves for people to buy. I don't care if you're the comic book industry guy trying to put out these books for people to buy. It's a people business. I don't care if you're the editor at that publisher working with your writer. It's a people business. This is your business. Dealing with people. getting them to like and trust you and want to work with you. Okay? It's a people business. All you have to do is be a decent person. After that, it comes to how well you can do your job and how well they could do theirs. And if you can make a good, viable product when you're talking about that relationship with how would you say, maybe the employee and the employer. That's a little bit more what you're dealing with. And now they do have, when you get into these bigger places, these big corporate places, they have rules and guidelines and things that you can and cannot do. And I totally get that. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that relationship with you and the customer, and satisfying and meeting your customer's needs and expectations. An example I could use of this is when I go through the drive-through line at some of these, as any other restaurants. It's been a while since I do this. We don't really eat out a whole lot, but you know, I've gone to places, and you know, McDonald's for example. You go there, you get a 20-piece chicken McNugget. What's their policy? You get three sauces, of 3 cup sauces for your 20-piece chicken McNuggets. Well, me, I'm a double dipper. I use a barbecue and hot mustard, and I need I double dip them, so I need 4 cups, right? I need 2 barbecue, 2 hot mustard. I'm double dipping. Now the thing is, they got their little policy, and I've been through there, you know, through the drive-thrus, been on the inside, talk with the managers and all this stuff. I get there, and I'm like, hey, can I get an extra cup of barbecue sauce? They're like, ooh, that's gonna cost 27 cents. 27 cents, bro. I just gave you nearly $40 for a whole meal for my family. You're gonna sit here and squabble with me about 27 cents for a cup after I just gave you like $40? I'm not asking you to give me the house. I'm not asking you to give me the full case. I'm asking for 1 extra little cup of sauce, and you want to charge me 27 cents. And believe me, I've done this. I say, no thank you, here's your food back. Can you just refund my money? And I've had managers come to the window like, oh, I'm sorry, oh, here you go, here's just it's just our policy. You know, and a couple of times I've been just like, yeah, I get it, that's your policy, but no, just give me my money back. And the thing is because, like, I get that you have your policy. I understand that. And I get the reasons for that policy. You want to try to, you know, you want to try to not lose money. But, again, I'm asking for 1 cup, maybe 2 cups. I'm not asking for a big old bag full. Now, the thing here is what you're forgetting about is the one thing. You've got your policy. But when it comes to your customer in this way, sometimes you got to overlook the policy and be like, you know what, maybe it's in the best interest for us not to do this. Because while we don't want to lose money, this 1 cup of sauce just cost me $40. Almost $40 worth of food that I now have to give this customer his money back and take this food, and I can't do anything with it. I can't give this food to another customer, right? I can't just take there's things that they just can't do that, right? At that point, they might as well just give me the food, to be honest with you, because they can't really do anything with it. They're not supposed to. Now, the thing is you could have avoided all that by just giving that little cup of sauce. Again, people, business. You got your policy. Understandable. But you just lost all of that for this. Okay? Now, here's where all this kind of comes into play is somebody actually responds to this tweet about what to do to promote these books to get into once you get in beyond issue 1, where Marvel did it, and that's the funny thing. He's like, oh, it's like, hey, Marvel was great about press for our rollout of issue number 1. Were they though? I guess they were okay. They were okay, but again, it comes down to one of those things where, like, oh, hey, we did this, and that's enough. That's enough. Kevin Feige don't go out there and build up hype for a movie by just showing trailers before the movie comes out, and once the movie hits theaters, they just say, that's it. It's in theaters. You're gonna go watch it. They continue to run ad campaigns for weeks. They continue to run ad campaigns until that movie is out of theaters. Because they want you to go watch it. They want to make money on it. Right? Now, this somebody answers this, says, we're with, because this guy was asking for help. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But remember, people business, simple. Go talk to the people. Says, reaching out to retailers and employees at shops directly is always very helpful. Yeah, arguably, yeah. That's actually very helpful. Absolutely, you'd want to do that. But, yeah, we could even take it a little farther than that. But I know, and he goes on to continue, says, I know Marvel has policies about sending out early PDFs, but coordinating with their marketing and PR to keep retail excited and in the know is always a boon in my experience. Can I get an amen? Absolutely. Now here's the thing is, I know they have policies about sending out early PDFs. Here's that McDonald's sauce cup policy right there glaring at you. If you're having those issues, and I think this is something that Marvel and DC seriously need to change, is get that book into, and I'm not saying for me, I could care less about Marvel at this point. I'm not saying for me though, but go out there, find, maybe just each month, find a handful of creators, and you cannot use the main, you cannot use your typical media. Your Bleeding Cools, your Bleeding Fools, your all these, you cannot use that. Nobody cares about most of these publications anymore. They only go there to get triggered and hear opinions and get triggered to hear their opinions. You need to get people who are actually reading these comics, people like myself and other people here on YouTube, in the comic book community, to read these books early and get excited about them and share them out there with people. Now, I get they have those policies. They don't want these stories to get out there. But here's the thing. We're talking about MODOK. Does anybody, let me know in the chats, does anybody know or care about the MODOK comic book enough that you want to go out there and promote it? Or do you care that it gets promoted? Like, this, aside from this creator, which rightfully is the right person want to. Are they excited about it? You got to get people excited about it. How? Oh, hey, we ran an ad on our YouTube channel. We put an ad on Facebook. We tweeted about it. Now, what's enough? Look, I myself here on this channel have gotten numerous PDF copies from writers and publishers to review here on the channel. Most of those I have read and I have done reviews here on the channel. Most of those comic books I have also purchased at my local comic book shop. Some of them that my LCS didn't have, maybe they weren't going to order, I put on their radar and said, here, could you order this book for me? I just got sent the PDF and man, this book is great. I can't tell you how many PDF copies I have from Vault Comics, a couple, I think I've had a couple of, like, maybe a couple from other publishers. The guys over at Absolute Comics Group, really great. The people over, Mad Cave Studios, though I haven't been able to access their site, they've reached out to me. They're actually out there actively promoting, and the way they are doing it is by reaching out to people like me, people like you who could be out there doing these things and reviewing these things. Small people, the people who are actually reading these books, to give a copy to and say, hey, here you go, read the book, talk about it. Please, just don't show all the spoilers in the review, and just be reasonable. Don't steal our book and just put it out there. And most people I know don't do that. And that's all the harder it would be for Marvel to do that. Now, the thing is everybody thinks, oh, well, Marvel, it's Marvel, it's DC. It's going to sell. It's going to sell because it's Marvel and DC. Well, I don't think any readers actually think that. I think the companies think that. They think that because they're Marvel, because they're DC, that people are just going to automatically buy their books, and we know that's not the case. However, the other thing comes into is Marvel or DC even the best people to get to promote their own products and to reach out to these people, because that's where we can get into the social media aspect of this thing. And this is something that we as consumers, you as readers, I think we find increasingly more valuable and important. The case that I brought up earlier of Pablo Hidalgo and others out there is the shining example of what I'm talking about here. Is you cannot really rely on these creators to go out there and promote their products. We see what they do. You can get on Twitter and you can see the way a lot of these people act towards their customers or potential customers. Now, I will say that's completely on you as a consumer or on me. How would you say that? That connection that you want to have with them, that interaction that you want to have with them. Do you care about what these writers are saying on Twitter and their Facebook, their opinions? If you care too much, you might not be the best person to be interacting with them on their social media. We see this is prevalent on social media. So perhaps these people themselves are not the best people to be promoting their products. Now, this person in question that tweeted this out, Jordan Bloom, I don't believe he's one of these people who's super controversial on Twitter or anything. I haven't really noticed anything, but I didn't go creep through his profile and like some weirdo and look for something to say like, oh, he's just another crazy SJW. But the point being is, at the same time, a lot of these people are not the best people to go out there and promote their books. We can take a look at who he's co-writing the book with. Patton Oswalt. And I can tell you, go on Patton Oswalt's Twitter and tell me that he's a person to really get out there and interact with your average comic book reader. You know, somebody that he can reach out and touch on social media. Chances are he's got that echo chamber there that he's kind of built himself. The people, you know, that like him are going to listen and maybe read his book. The rest of them are already tuned out. They don't care because of what he posts on his social media. And that's the other thing. We're really talking about a double-edged sword here. So where you're walking the line of being a big corporate company and you're trying to you want to try to promote your products, but you only do it for that first issue. You don't care in subsequent issues. The issue then lies in you're relying on your creators, and we can see the kind of interactions that a lot of these creators have on these social media platforms. It's not good. It's not pretty. And I'm not saying that it's all their fault, because people sometimes care about these things a little too much. You care a little too much about what so-and-so says on their social media. You do. Don't act like you don't, okay? Don't act like you don't. You do. You react to them. I see reactions on Twitter and stuff from all kinds of people who seem pretty reasonable and level-headed most of the time, but I see some of the interactions. I just seen one this morning when I was looking up more stuff on Twitter from a creator and a personality here on YouTube that obviously has social media also. I seen this tweet put out there and I'm like, I see the interaction. I'm like, you know, honestly, you know, like, you're a pretty reasonable guy coming from this YouTuber guy. You're a pretty reasonable, level-headed guy. You're kind of being an ass. But the person is kind of being defensive as well here with this situation that was going on. And therein lies the product, where this person was getting snarky with this creator. The creator was getting snarky with this other, I guess you could say, media person. We're in the media, technically, are we not? So, you know, the interactions there, they're just not good. It's just not good. Sometimes we do that ourselves. We allow it to happen. We don't allow it to happen. There's all kinds of these things that go into this, right? So who's the right person to promote it? I mean, Marvel should be promoting their books. They should have somebody in charge of their social media, in charge of their promoting their comic books and their movies, just like they do their movies, right? They should. And somebody that is maybe not well known. And maybe they shouldn't let their creators push the stuff for these big corporate companies like this. Or maybe they should. I want to know from you what you think down in the comments below, because, and I apologize, I haven't been paying attention to the chats, but this is something I think, like, obviously I have a lot to say when it comes to this stuff, because these creators, like this man, asking for help and promoting his book being published by Marvel, and maybe he knows he's in a spot trying to work with Patton Oswalt writing a book, but we see these creators asking for help to promote their books when this is Marvel, a big corporate entity. And we see what happens. Do we not? We see what happens so many times when people like me, when people like these creators go out there and actively promote these things that we like and enjoy, only to be met with snark and cynicism when we do. When we share an opinion that maybe one of these creators or this company might not like. What happens? They throw some snark at you, they throw some shade at you. Hell, some of these companies, and let's not act like it don't happen, some of these companies go out there and blacklist some of these media creators to not get access to some of their products, some of their interviews, and things like that. There are... I know people who have been in that situation where they get blacklisted by these companies, all because they've been a little bit critical of a product that the company is putting out. I think in the end, to sum it all up, is there needs to be, I can't even say there needs to be a change. They need to figure this thing out. They need to figure out how to get and promote their products and get their people to, get people excited about their products. I'll say one of the biggest things is writing good stories, and writing good stories with good art that make people want to read them month after month. That's the most important thing. But I would say the next most important thing after putting out a pretty, at least a good product, is to get out there and be personable with people who you want to read your products, people you want into your products, not sitting out there and fighting with them. But where does that line lie for you as a consumer? Do you really care what Dan Slott thinks about President Trump? Do you care too much about it? Don't lie to yourself. You don't have to lie to me. I don't really care. I'm not getting you to try to promote my book. I'm just trying to get the thoughts and opinions out of you and what your thoughts are. Because me, like I said, I've talked about this numerous times. I have my own thoughts when it comes to politics and all these kinds of things going on in the world. But the other thing is I don't care what Dan Slott thinks about it. I don't care what, I might listen to and comment on it, but I don't care in the fact that it's going to trigger me and be like, oh, no, enough. I've had enough of all this. I don't really care that much. If you're writing a good comic book and I enjoy it, I could care less what you think about these things. You could call me an asshole, and I'm still going to read your comic book. You could ask me not to read your comic book. If I enjoy it, I'm still going to read your comic book. Right? I can put up with a lot because I don't really care. Maybe you might care about that stuff, but I don't. But that's not to say I don't have my own opinions in that I just, don't care. I mean, sure, there's probably a point where I'm probably alright, dude, this guy's weird, too weird. F this guy. I could probably get to a point. But again, that's because I don't put that much weight or stock into what some of these people are saying and doing. But we can see I am one of those people that is in probably more of a minority about being reasonable about these kinds of things. Most people out there, most consumers, don't want to deal with that. Don't want to deal with that. Now, another thing that this person had said in their reply also. Let me see if I can find this other reply where let's see. Okay, here we got one. A reply from another big person. Another one of this person's peers says about going out there and promoting. He says, I don't do this because I'm too disorganized, but I've heard some creators call shops, pay for X number of issues, and ask that they be put in pull boxes of customers who aren't reading it but might like it. And that still works in a pandemic. Now here's the other thing. a creator shouldn't have to call comic book shops and say, hey, here's some money. Put your comic books in these people's pull boxes. There's nothing wrong with the creators calling the shops. Call the shops. Promote your book. Do all that. But chances are a lot of these creators we've seen don't make a lot of money. They don't have all the money in the world to just go out there and be like, hey, here's, you know, like, even if you spent $20, what's $20 going to get you? 4 issues? You know, 4 books? Hey, put these 4 issues in 4 people. Like, I'm not saying it won't work, but you're paying money for that, and what are you doing? You're essentially faking sales. You're essentially faking sales at that point, but the sales don't go based off of individual sales at the store level. It goes off how much the stores order all together. But to me, this is another issue altogether. In that case, you might as well just go out there and buy the copies yourself from the local comic book shop. Hey, I support a local comic book shop. Buy the issues yourself and then just send them out. Just, you know, you might as well just go out on the street, just hand them out to people who, you know, in front of the comic shop. Hey, here you go. It's just there's so much that goes into that. I just think that sounds like a really bad idea as well. Doing those kinds of things with that. Now, a lot of people get on here and they suggest, hey, get on there and get on Twitter, get on YouTube, get on and find some other creators and podcasts to talk to about your comic book. Just go out there and talk to them for 10 minutes. You know, like, be personable, right? Go out there and talk about your book. Show your excitement for your book, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what you should be doing. Now the thing is like I said at the beginning, you run into this issue where you get like places like Marvel and DC, like, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't want you sending out those early PDFs to get people into this. Just talk about it. Don't send out early PDFs for people to read. Are you crazy? They're going to pirate that stuff. They're going to give it away. I'll be honest with you. I can't say I know anybody that is going to go out there, get one of these PDF copies, and just paste it all over YouTube and or all over Twitter and just be like, hey, you know, like all this, and just like slam the book. Most people who are in these positions will read the book and they will be usually offer some good criticisms when they do a review on their channel or on their Twitter or on their Facebook or their Instagram. A lot of these people are really good about these things. I think that it's something that the Marvels and DCs of the world really need to let go of, some of those corporate policies from holding their creators back. This is something that really hinders them in wanting to push their products, especially when we know that they, the company themselves, are not working hard to actively promote these comic books or these creators. There's really only a small handful that they do it for. I think it's something important. It's something that they seriously need to look at. Hey, they might get me excited and get me buying more of their books, but you know what? If you've been following me here long enough on the channel, you know that my days of having Marvel and DC on my comic book pull list are just about up. Time's numbered, Marvel, and chances are I'm not sure you're really going to get my money back. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I have completely nerded out and disregarded the chats for 45 minutes now, it looks like. But let's get into the live chats and see what you all have to say about what I'm saying here. About what I'm saying. Let's see. Oh, I got some. Oh, error try. How come you're not letting me approve messages, YouTube? Come on, man. This is like, it's not even I'm a moderator on here. It's like my freaking channel. What are you doing? Don't you dare say error. Okay. Son of a. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Now. Let me scroll up here, man. I was nerding out for a while, man. You guys were active in the chats, man. Again, I apologize. I missed the double autograph books at Golden Apple. They did a surprise MODOK signing with both creators. Oh, wow. Nice. What does that shirt say? Oh, support your local bike shop. Support your local bike shop. ReeferMan Reviews says, dude, I am halfway through reading the plot already. I can't put it down. It is so good. I can't wait to make a review for it. I am absolutely in love with this book. I'm telling you, it's good. And it's a different kind of horror book. Definitely. I love Patton. He was dope as Koenigs. I'm not sure what that's referring to. I think Patton Oswalt, he's okay. He can be funny. Pope Cerebus says, that's right on, ReeferMan. All Vault stuff is awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't really read anything out of Vault that I don't. Well, there's been a couple of series that I've read. I'm like, nah, I'm not really into that. Chumong says BS apology. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, corporate apology. Absolutely. Air Spider says, I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan and it was hilarious and way overblown watching Star Wars Theory bawling on camera. I don't really think it was. Like I said, I went through and I watched his reaction because I went through and I rewatched his reaction when he was watching the stream, and he reacted no differently than I did. As a matter of fact, like you know what? Look, I'm gonna be fucking honest right here. The reaction he had was like fucking tame compared to mine. I seen that X-wing fly in. And land in the series. I literally, like, I was here at my house. My kids were up. You know, I literally jumped out of my seat and I said, "Holy shit!" And like I started I was like at that point, I was like in disbelief. I was like as time was going on, I started like. You know, like, I think I started losing oxygen to my brain because I started, like I was like, oh, dude, and I'm not a big, like, I don't think that his reaction was overblown at all. If anything, I think it was understated. You know, if anything, I'd be like, oh, this guy's not nerd enough. Which we all know couldn't be further from the truth. I would have been bawling on camera. Like, I'm telling you, I lost my shit when R2-D2 walked onto or rolled into the screen. I seriously, I lost it. But up to that point, I was in complete disbelief. Like I'm saying, his reaction was tame compared to what mine was. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was overblown at all. Wicked BS apology, indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Isn't he the one that made a fan film and Disney owns it now? I don't think they own it. He just can't make money on it. But yeah, he's the guy who did that. It was a destroyed. That was a destroyed character that was in his childhood that was fixed. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, he is the one that made the fan film. He paid to make, and the music division filed an ownership claim. Yeah. He was still drool crying over a cool scene in a Star Wars show. I can't believe how sad 7 to 9 made a certain generation of Star Wars fans. Here's the thing: is I don't think it's the issue with the movies of what. The thing is people are connected to these characters. It has nothing to do. Here's the thing: the sequel trilogy has nothing to do with how Star Wars Theory reacted to seeing that scene in the movie. Nothing to do with it. I can guarantee you it had nothing to do with seeing Luke redeemed. Oh, they finally did him right. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the fact that Luke Skywalker is somebody that he looked up to and admired. Had nothing to do with those seasons. Air Spider 23 says, I grew up with Luke. I'm 41. Please tell me in detail, if need be, how Luke was ruined. I hear it, but I never seen it. Yeah, like I said, I'm not here to do that. I could give a shit less. To be honest, I could give a shit less about Luke Skywalker. Like, for me, he was always a whiny bitch in the original trilogy. I know, guys, I know. Until Return of the Jedi, I know he finally grew up. But yeah, I'm not. You ain't gonna hear no argument out of me. I could care less. But I lost my shit when I seen R2. Theory's reaction for Luke was my reaction, except freaking out instead of crying when Bo-Katan popped up. Yeah, right. See excitement, not crying on camera. Yeah, I could care. Like if you don't want people to cry, that's your thing. If you want people to be excited, that's your thing. Hey, cool. If you think crying on camera makes you any less of a man, fine. That's on you. If you agree with Pablo that Emotions aren't for sharing. Cool. That's on you. You can feel free to feel that way. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But being in charge of a big franchise and saying somebody is being a fucking crybaby over your product and throwing a bunch of snark at them, somebody that does nothing but promote your shit, yeah, I think there's something wrong with that. Wes Moody webcast says, you mean you don't insult people? That's no way to run a business? Yeah, well, and see, here's the thing. I think there's a fine line between insulting and maybe having fun with, making jokes. I think there's a certain line. Like, if somebody went and they made a joke online, chances are, and they're just joking about, like, maybe Pablo really was just joking. Maybe Pablo really was just kidding. Doubtful. But here's the thing, is you can't control how people react to it. You can only control what you're saying and getting them to react to. And that's not to say that, and that's the thing, is like, maybe he was just joking and it was just all taken wrong and blown out of proportion, and I don't think it was, but maybe it was. And if maybe it was, sometimes we as consumers, we as people are a little too sensitive about stuff. We are, okay? We are, and I get it. In this case, I totally get it. I totally understand the reason for upset in this case. Absolutely. I cried as well. It was awesome. Airspire, sorry you didn't feel that way. Your prerogative, but so making fun of us for it, that's just trashy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and absolutely. And I'm not saying anything bad about Airspire. If he didn't cry to him, react emotionally and those things, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you don't react emotionally to these, there's no problem with that. There's no problem with that. That's absolutely fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Airspider having that criticism either, saying, hey, dude, you're crying like a little bitch. Hey, fine. Cool. That's okay. That's okay. Because, believe me, you don't want to know how many times I've sat there and watched Undercover Boss and been a weeping little bitch at the end of it. Hey, I'm being honest here, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. Seriously, I have. If she was screwed in, then this took decades to be fixed. That would also maybe be a reach. Huh? Barbecue and hot mustard. Yeah. I watched this story since before he was born and failed to see how Luke was so far gone it required tears usually reserved for a wait. The character was fine in my opinion. Yeah, like I said, yeah, for me, I mean, it didn't seem uncharacteristic of him at all. It didn't seem he was always like, seriously, go back and watch A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. Luke is whiny like the whole time. He's a whiny little, like, dude, I'm telling you, even when I was a kid, I'm like, dude, why does this kid cry so much? Oh. I thought you got four. Well, okay, Wes Moody podcast or webcast. Are we gonna start? Okay, are we gonna argue about McDonald's sauce policy? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to argue about McDonald's sauce cut policy with the chicken McNuggets? We'll do it. We'll do a whole live stream. We'll make it an event. We'll make it like, we'll do one of those debate 8s like Adam does. I'm kidding. Yeah, I think you get the point I'm making though. You get the point. Oh yeah. I never made fun of dude. I'm just saying he was overdoing it. I wanted to clarify what he was a kid with the kid with the fanfare. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was him. Luke was his childhood and helped. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with what Air Spider 23 is saying. Hey, you don't cry during a movie? All good on you. Hey, I didn't used to cry at movies and shit. You know what it is? I'm getting old and soft. They put too much soul in my coffee and my comic books. Coachella Coastal, thank you so much for being here. Aggressively says, after Return of the Jedi, and thank you so much for being here. Coachella and Aggressively, and Air Spider. After Return of the Jedi, ruined Luke. They really did, because he was crying the whole time. I really got into the show Ewoks, but then I wrote a letter explaining The Light Tree episode made me cry, and Paul Dino made fun of me. Air Spider says, I don't know about his childhood. Yeah. Pope Service says, policy over customer. Sounds like Marvel. Yeah. It sounds like any big corporate, conglomerate, really. Boy is serious about his sauces. Damn. So it's none of my business. If he tells his fans, that's on him. I just watched him crying. Yeah, right. Oh man. Every MCU and Star Wars show have a 2 times bigger budget than Mando. That would be dope. Yeah. Per episode. Yeah. Absolutely. Marvel makes barbecue sauce now? What did that mean? Oh, but there's an analogy. He wrote a whole letter and uses slurs, but even with me and Paul Dino's relationship, it tatters in tatters. I have to admit, Muppet Babies was awesome. You know what? Muppet Babies was awesome. I loved Muppet Babies when I was growing up. Trinity Sauce is the Iron Man classic costume bottle with barbecue mustard. Oh man, oh that's funny. That's a no, Doc. MODOK is dope. Yeah. This kid's going to feel silly when I put out my spam call review in a minute about MODOK. Oh man, I bought MODOK. I didn't really care if Marvel promotes its. I don't really care if Marvel promotes it past previews. Well, here's the thing: is like I get that you don't, but here's the thing: this writer does, this creator and writer does, and to me, this what this sounds like, what this tweet sounded like, was this writer and creator asking for help to promote his product because he knows that Marvel isn't actively out there helping promote their books. Now that's something that I think is very important. We see that there are, what does an indie comics creator do? They go out there and they actively promote their books. What do these the people doing the crowdfunded campaigns do? They go out there and they actively promote their books, and they count on you, the reader, and the people who love and engage with it to go out there and promote for them. For Marvel to just sit back and act like people are going to just buy it off of shelves because we're Marvel is fucking ridiculous. It's stupid. Now, whether you or I care about them promoting it after that is a completely different discussion altogether. I myself could care less. You know why? Because I don't care about Marvel books at this point. But this creator does care. I think that's something that we need. I think that's something that honestly, the mainstream comic book industry could use more of, is that their creators caring about, wanting to promote their products. I think it's very important. Pope Service says, good point, T. MODOK is the McRib of comics. Let me get a double McMODOK. With no extra. Oh no! Extra sauce. You need extra sauce. That's when you're a veteran. You just ask for the McDoc. I can't believe I ate 2 McRib yesterday. Ooh, don't eat that stuff. Don't eat that stuff. Don't eat that stuff. Don't eat that stuff. Yeah, don't eat that stuff. Marvel puts them out and doesn't care. It's a future movie that doesn't. It's a future movie that doesn't have to be created from scratch, and it costs them nothing in comparison to script development. Yeah, but they might use that in use the character in a movie and stuff. But their ability to use their comic books to promote movies, or their movies to promote comic books, it's not even a question. They just don't do it. They don't even care about it. They do not even care, because they actively have their Black Widow preludes. They put out these prelude comic books for these movies because the movies have really no correlation to the comic books whatsoever. No parallels whatsoever. And we see they actively show that. Namor's official fillet. Alright guys, my unboxing of the package Trinity Sun is now uploaded. When this stream is over, please check it out. Alright man, for sure. Gotta grab one of the those new McMurray sandwiches. Oh, Trinity Star Wars Fandom was the first to wrench me. Clearly, we know who cares more. Oh man. Maybe the proper mixed up name. Not sound. All right. Yeah. We got you. McNamore sounds like if he's he's taking Ronald's job. LB, thank you so much for being here. I'm getting caught up. Look at me, I'm getting caught. Twitstorm, yeah. You can use my name. The creator, that creator deserved it. That's funny. I watched some horrible stuff on Twitter yesterday. Oh, there's a lot of horrible stuff on Twitter yesterday. But, I don't know. I don't know. I think people make a lot more of it than it needs to be. It makes me not want to be part of YouTube. Oh, man. I wonder what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I watched an entire community turn on the leader for a... I watched an entire community turn on the leader for a drug addict she put on. I must have missed something. I only have Twitter for Wardell, and he hasn't said crap in more than a year, right? Her fans believe the junkie over her. I must have missed something then. Namor, will you give all the land dwellers heart disease with his greatest plan yet, a controlling stake in McDonald's? Oh, man. You're funny, man. Only if he was evil and a villain. Okay, I watched 25,000 people turn on the person they met the other from because one told the truth. YouTube is a weird place. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Dixie. Thank you. McFlurry is people. Sorry, I can't even concentrate. I'm still hungry from the story about the extra sauce. My bad. I knew I shouldn't have brought up fast food in a live stream. I knew I shouldn't have done it. I can forgive a lot if something is good. Yeah, absolutely. McRib is pig guts. Yeah. Dan Slott changed Franklin's biology. That's the only thing I have against him. But did he, though? Did he? I don't know. Scarpads Comics says politics and world situations have always been in comics going back to the 60s. Absolutely. I'm not sure where that comes in from, but yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, like, when people talk about all these books, oh, it's all politics. What most people are arguing is, like, this comic book don't represent my politics and the things that I believe and think. That's what most of those arguments come down to. And here's the thing, is I get that. A good writer can write a story that's going to appeal to somebody on the right and on the left. It's going to be thought-provoking. It's going to get you engaged and make you think about a lot of things. Case in point, take a look at the movie A Few Good Men, right? Look at that and just go through and look at and break that one down. And we all know Rob Reiner. Oh, yeah, he's a lefty. But watch the movie and see how it's thought-provoking. You don't get the overwhelming sense that somebody is a Republican or a Democrat or a libertarian or anything in between. You don't get the fact that somebody is a Christian, somebody is is Muslim or anything like that. You don't get any of that out of that movie. But it's dealing with a lot of politics and things like that. It deals with a lot of those things. It's the way in which it's done, the way in which it's presented, more so than the mere fact that, like, you're doing politics. It's much more than that. Yeah. And here's the thing: is like politics and world situations. That's the very point of art. That's what art is for. That's what all artists throughout time have used their art for, is to express themselves, their political opinions, or whatever other opinions that they may have on the world, or maybe just their own world, or maybe showing who they really are. That is the whole point of art. It's only good, though, when you can make it that thought-provoking that gets people on both sides of a political spectrum engaged and talking about it and having these conversations. And that's another thing, and I've said this multiple times, too, where people, when it comes to, like, these politics and all these things like this, personal politics and all that stuff, look, here's the thing, is that these politics, these differences of opinion are supposed to bring you together, not bring you apart. You're supposed to come together to discuss them and find a mutual ground. It's all about compromise, and it's not saying that you have to give up your thoughts and your emotions. They're supposed to bring you together to talk about these issues, to not to agree and not to disagree, but to find some common ground on which you can both stand on. That's the whole point. And everybody seems to miss that because it's all about me, 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 me. Fuck you and what you think about your politics or anything else like that. That's what it always comes down to. It's not these things are supposed to be stuff that we come together to talk about, to bring us together, not to tear us apart. We're already apart. You're already separate in your ideologies and your morals and your and all these different things. You're already separate in that. You know why? Because you are you. You're a unique individual. When you find somebody who has a lot of the same thoughts as you, you're not the same. You have different thoughts about these things. Again, they're supposed to bring you together to talk about them, not spread you apart. Not spread you apart. Not supposed to be divisive. They are divisive, but they're not supposed to divide you. They are supposed to bring you together. Moving on. If it's something that makes the story better, I have an issue. If it's done for the sake of doing it, is where the problem is. Yeah, Scarlet. Yeah, exactly. I think you're kind of you're making the same point like I was talking about. Absolutely, 100%. What if you advanced? What if you advanced on some interviews, Trinity? What if you advanced on some interviews? What do you mean? Like I don't. Is it, like you mean reviews? Like I've done reviews. Oh yeah. No. I see what you're saying, Will. Like they do advanced like interviews. Like hey, I've got this, like like the indie, and that's the difference. Like the people in the indie comic book industry, they do that. The people in the indie comic book industry, they go out there. They get on streams with people like me and other YouTubers and stuff like that. They actually do that. Their hands aren't as tied when it comes to the indies. They can send out PDF copies early and stuff. It's the Marvel and the DC, the big corporate guys, who can't do that. I honestly don't know if Image even does that. I don't even know if Image sends out the early previews like that either. But a lot of these indie publishers, they allow that. You know what? IDW probably don't either. I don't know. Some of them probably don't. Some of the bigger corporate ones, but like I said, I've gotten plenty of review copies from other publishers. But yeah, I think like that's the thing is like some advanced interviews. But the thing is like it's something like them as the creator, they constantly have to get on and do. I think the important thing is just that Marvel and DC, they could use some help in promoting their products more than just from their creators. But yeah, absolutely. Is there a new Mutants issue out? No. Aggressively says the last Fantastic Four issue is already teasing Reed knows his kid's powers issues are in his mind. Okay, right? Every Franklin story is an exploration of ultimate power that ends with Frank saying, "Oh, I was doing it." Right? Yeah, I completely agree with you. Aggressively, I could see that. I made a pocket universe. Right? Yeah. Man, what happened here? It just jumped on me again. Okay, there we go. Mike, everybody saying what's up to Mike. Mike must have got here late. My favorite Porter, Mike Porter. Mike Porter, but I said it like the rapper from the early 2000s, Mike Jones. Showing I'm happy to see you. We're going to make it to 2022, absolutely. I'm glad you enjoy your McRibs. Yeah, it's funny. I'm out of coffee. You said something about comic books. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I said something about them. Hit the like button, peeps. Yeah, absolutely. Support your local like shop. Patton and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. Oh, okay, that was his name in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, okay, I remember now. Because he had the twin. Like, he made the... Yeah. His reaction was totally real. I cried too. Yeah. Oh, I cried to his reaction. Not even watching the show. We were talking about that on Monday. I cried to his reaction, not even watching the show. Like I sat there and because you know what it is. It's seeing somebody show that raw emotion that gets you emotional too. And not everybody's gonna be like that. And that's not to say that somebody's desensitized if they don't. If they don't cry to it, neither. Absolutely not. I really just wanted to get coffee, Mike, but temptation from TV got me. I don't weigh nothing, so it's all right. Oh man, it's funny. I screamed too at the I screamed too at the side of the action. Yeah, I'm telling you, I jumped up. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Support your local businesses. Things are opening near me, and people aren't making it. Restaurants close every day here. Yeah, I know. It's sad. It's sad. Hey, I wasn't 100% that was Luke until I saw R2D. Yeah, right? Yeah, absolutely. I chopped R2D2's head off and made a smoked brisket in him. Oh, like you made a yeah. Hell yeah. Nice. I'm crying now. Applesauce almost gone. Well, yeah. You better be crying, LB, because I watch your videos, LB. You better be crying, because what's going to happen is you're going to go into a business where you live at. You're going to be minding your own business, trying to buy some applesauce. Some lady's going to come in not wearing a mask while she has a mask with her, and she's going to continue to beat up and get in an altercation with a police officer. Oh, wait, yeah. Man, I'm telling you, that video, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, like... Go check out LB's channel, people, folks. Go check out LB's channel, folks. I'm telling you, there'll be some crazy people. Yeah. Every day, every great Star Wars Jedi character starts whining and becomes loved at the end. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at Anakin. I didn't cry, but at 3:30 in the morning, I yelled at the top of my lungs, "Is that a green lightsaber?" Surprised I didn't wake up my wife, right? Yeah. You know what? They have selective hearing, you know? Like, you know how you hear your wife nagging? Believe me, she don't hear you nagging. She don't care. She's like, oh, you hear me, I don't hear you. I'm kidding. Don't judge power converters, and that's impossible. Oh, man. Surprise my... Yeah, right. Sucks. Oh, man. Guys can have feelings, too. Sharing your feelings can lead to you not to... Can lead you to not kill yourself or others. Yeah, absolutely, Ralph. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm always soft unless I'm going hard. Yeah, absolutely. The 9 Star Wars movies are prequels, OT, R1 Solo. Oh, they're prequels to... Okay, I see. McDonald's community. We have to come together and not fight with each other over sauce. What's important is we get a good product. Absolutely. You can make a grill out of R2D2 and smoke Ewoks. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, smoke weed, not Ewoks. Oh man, Ewok lives matter. Batman or classic Doctor Strange, not written by Marvel or DC. More importantly, DC. Smoked Ewoks are delicious. All right. Yova Rodz, how are you doing, my brother? Hope all is well. Last time I had a Wookiee meat, it was chewy. You overcooked it. A Duder Review says, man, I wish I could grow such mighty chin hair. You can. Well, hey, you know what? A Duder? I wish I could grow hair. Something you can do that I can't. Well, I mean, I can't. And believe me, it's not that I'm going bald. It's migrating from the front of my head down my neck. Soon I'm going to look like Robin Williams. Yeah, I'll look like a Monchichi doll. And no, it's not too soon, folks. Okay, no mo for show. Who are promoting their YouTube channel during your live stream, Second Marvel? I don't know. Who is? I don't know. And here's the thing: is like chances are you don't have to promote your channel here on my chances are if you're a creator and I like your shit, I'm gonna promote you already. You don't have to do that. Mike Porter is my favorite Porter. Don't you start with me too, Santa. Don't you start with me too. Shotgun or be Aggressive says, I'm about to launch my comic Kickstarter. It's about vacuums, and I'll release it if I raise the $23.16 I'm asking for so I can buy this Chinese food, and I like some booze. There you go. Do you still hate... Trinity, do you still hate when somebody comments ranch? No. Oh, man, that's funny. Oh, man. Break down the movie Gran Torino. Get off my lawn. Yeah. He has a point there. He should let his hair grow out. Maybe nobody else will see it. Cheap Cheech and Chong. Oh, Eric Heine, my man. Let's have a community stream right now. Great to see you, Eric. Thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you so much for being here. It's all about how It's all about how Trinity and I didn't know. But, no, I do. What? Finally caught one of these. What's up, Tim? How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. AirSpider23 says, you are a unique individual. We are now at the 2nd Street and Marvel Seminar for better mental health. Oh, AirSpider23. Funny, man. Cracking me up, man. Thank you guys so much for being here, man. Like, seriously, like, it's always fun to get together with you all, man. Seriously, you know it is. You know it is. Oh, man, that's funny. Okay. Oh, man. I need some more Aglax. Absolutely we do. Absolutely we do, man. Yo, 2nd Street Funk Comics 814. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a very good day, man. Hope you're having a good day. Lowercase Tim is fire. Twitter handle. Lowercase Tim, huh? I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Pope Service, the first. Yep, that's me. Oh, okay. Okay. What? All right. Right. We all know Dixie has emotion. Yeah. I found the funky. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I found the funk. Yeah. You seem like a good guy, Trinity. I'll show up more often. I'm a mess, bro. I'm a mess. Thank you so much for being here, Tim. I thought Pope said happy weeds. I know, I did too at first. I'll take happy weeds too. Good weeds are happy weeds. Plus he said funk. It just took my mind. Yeah. Funk. Yeah. Eric, let's have a community stream right now. Man, I love it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna miss Eric. If you don't come in here like Eric, when we finally get down to having that community stream and I bring you on, man, I want you to get on and I want you to have that same excitement when you get on. When you get on camera, you gotta say, "Let's have a community stream right now." Don't fail me, bro. Don't fail me. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, "Don't fail me, bro." Oh man, that's funny. Does anyone else think DC is trying to be the metric system of comics? Does anyone care either? The metric system. Oh yeah, but yeah, I get you. I get your post. I see what you're saying. Yeah. He said, "I'm not going bald. My hair's running away from my forehead." Well, my grandma always said that grass don't grow on a busy street. It's kind of busy up there. You can't hurt my feelings. I don't have any feelings. So next time I have Wookiee meat, I will cook it less, and it will only be a little chewy. Yeah, Oh, that's funny. Wandering Dog, thank you so much for being here. Mike Porter says, I finally shaved my beard, my crazy beard off. It has a life of its own. It started growing up it does that. Tim, don't tell everybody they shouldn't check you out, bro. Don't tell everybody. It's a joke. It's all a joke. It's all a joke, man. Because I'm a mess. Oh, man, that's funny. Chewy, I got it. Oh, man, we know between you and Santa who values my XR. I stand with the broke Avengers. I stand with the broke Avengers. Right? I stand with them. I helped come up with the hashtag I stand with the broke Avengers. You know I stand with you. You know I'm there with you. Don't do it. Eggs are good. Don't be me. Don't take it as a personal attack, XR. I'm sorry. I'm finishing my 2021 channel commercial right now. I'm like, I have so many bad ideas. Santa, did you see my room? I guess before I start showing too many emotions on my live stream, because we're not supposed to share them. Before I start to show too many, I just want to say, guys. Before I start to show too many, I just want to say that, guys. I finally watched that movie, Soul. I finally watched the movie Soul. I finally watched the movie Soul, and I just want to know, like, why does everybody think that this movie is so riveting and so moving? Like, it's so fresh and new. Like, chances are, did it first.